Hi guys, Dick here from the Dutch Watch channel. Yeah, this is already the last review of the Direnzo trilogy, so all the more reasons to make it a good one and have some fun with the new and latest Direnzo DRZ06 Wandering Star. The design of the DRZ06 is much different in comparison to the DRZ02 and 04 series, and yet it is again very recognizable as a Direnzo watch. And unpacking the Wandering Star was again a very refreshing and exciting experience. And it made me think of my excitement when I hear one of my favorite singers or bands on the radio spinning a new record. Excitement, that is the word that comes into mind when I see or wear this watch. And I had and still have this excitement when I wear my other Direnzos as well, so these designs do stand the test of time very well. Now let's take a closer look to this very elegant and sporty Direnzo DRZ06 Wandering Star, and don't forget to do all those YouTube things. It would help me to improve the channel and to create better videos for you guys. Thank you. The Wandering Star comes with 3 different dial colors to choose from. A very vibrant and bright blue color, a lively black color which sometimes can change to a more grayish tone depending on the light conditions, and in this beautiful green color. We have the green version here today, as we already have seen, and the more I got hands-on with this watch, the more the green color dial is growing on me. I was sold on the black version because of the combination with the red color of the Wandering Star, but there is something about this hue of green which makes it very attractive. And the funny thing is, Esbjorn from Esbjorn Wristwatches had the same feeling, but then the other way around. So he preferred the green dial, but after reviewing the black dial, his preference changed to black. If you are unsure which color you prefer and you want to see more of the black dial version, then please look up the channels from Esbjorn Wristwatch Reviews or Peter Kotsa, because they have made great reviews of the black dial version of the Wandering Star. Oh, hi guys! Yeah, I almost forgot to mention a very important detail about the launch of the Direnzo DRZ06 Wandering Star. Pre-sale campaign will be launching on February the 10th, 2024 at 3 o'clock Central Europe time in the afternoon, and the delivery is scheduled for May-June 2024. So if you are interested, please check out the website of Direnzo Watches on Time at February the 10th. Now let's get back to the review. Now Direnzo is just a master in creating beautiful colors, and this makes the choice not always easy for us. But going back to the Fume green dial, we see a deep radial brush finish that makes sure to bounce back the light to the viewer in a very vibrant and lively way. The center of the dial is bright and lighter as it gets gradually darker when we get to the edge of the bowl-shaped dial. The dial has a sandwich construction where the first thing that stands out are the cutouts on the dial, which follows the whole edge of the dial in the form of a ring. Between the cutouts we can see the hour markers that are on a stick which run up the slope of the bowl all the way up onto the outer edge of the dial. The markers of the 12, 9 and 3 are made slightly bigger for better legibility, and it also elevates the design of the dial even further. Anyway, it all looks freaking cool. And then we even haven't discussed the star of the show, the magic seconds dial. It is a cutout circle that looks like a white loomed universe where the red Wandering Star is gliding in its own orbit as it counts the seconds. Who cares about legibility of the seconds if you can have a red star hovering in its own orbit? Now I know there's a lot to take in here with this design, but somehow it all just works here. It still looks very balanced and there is enough visual open space on the dial which prevents the whole design from being too cluttered. If we then take a look at the hands of the watch, we see a new design on the Wandering Star. They are very organically shaped and the finishing is excellent with no rough edges, and they have polished finishing that catches the light nicely for good legibility. The hands are filled with a crisp white BGW9 Superluminova and are quite thin, which makes the appearance very elegant. And at the 6 o'clock position we find the magic seconds hand in the form of a red orbiting wandering star that glides in its own universe that is cut out in the sandwich dial. For this model, Sergio has drawn inspiration from cars from the 20s and 30s like the infamous Bugattis and other epic and elegant sports cars from that era. Car designers are nowadays restrained with their designs because they need to get the cars through the clearance for the crash tests. But in the 30s that wasn't the case, so what you had then were incredibly beautiful car designs that were drawn without any restraints. So pure beauty. And that is what we can see back here on the case of the DRZ06 Wandering Star. Swooping and round lines on top of the case that transitions into sharp and angular shapes with very fine vertical brush finishing, almost like an unpainted aluminum car body. It then flows over to a glossy and polished finishing at the lugs of the watch with organic forms that holds a balance between round and sharper angular shapes, which we then can see on the side of the watch case. Here we see a polished finishing running all the way on the side of the watch, but with some cut out sections that has a matte bead blasted finish which add a lot of visual interest. It also gives the watch a thinner appearance from the side. Where the DRZ02 series has a wider cushion shaped case form, the DRZ06 is longer and sleeker. The diameter of the case is just 38 mm, which is perfect, and this works very well on my 6.7 inch wrist. The lug-to-lug size of just 46 mm adds to the overall wearability of this watch, and the female end links fall straight down. The thickness of just 10.8 mm, which is including the sapphire crystal, makes sure that it slips easily under the cuff. It makes the overall watch an elegant and comfortable fit, also for the smaller wrist sizes, like for instance from my wife. I definitely can see her wearing this watch to a nice dinner with our friends. The bezel then. It has a radial brushing on top and is very thin. It sits on top of the case like a thin disc with a very fine polished chamfer on the edge and underneath it, which then protrude inwards. It's kind of reminiscent of the bezel from the Omega Speedmaster Professional Moon watch. And if we then take a look on top of the bezel, we find the flat sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating for good legibility. Operating the crown, we have good haptics from the Swiss mechanical hand-wound movement from Sellita. The winding is tactile and you hear a nice clicky sound when winding up the movement as a reference that you are cranking some juice and life into the movement. It also gives you enough counter pressure to know that there is enough energy in the spring barrels, so you won't break the spring by overwinding it. The crown is 6.5 mm in diameter and has some fine but grippy knurling, which makes sure that winding your watch in the morning is a nice ritual with the Wandering Star. On top of the crown we have a polished finishing and we find another red star to match the Wandering Star on the dial. What is noticeable here with the bracelet of the latest model series from Direnzo is that it now has a polished beveled edge along the links, whereas on the DRZ02 the bevel had a sharper shape and a brush finish. On the O2 series this was perfect because the polished chamfer ends at the point where the bracelet connects to the case of the watch. And I feel that this even helped the design of the O2 series to make the case flow over into the bracelet as if it was made out of one part. But on the 06 series, however, it's great to see a beveled edge on the bracelet. But I wonder how it would look like if the links were also polished on the side. I think that it would make the transition of the case on the side to the bracelet even more cohesive, because you then would have one polished view on the side. This being said, we can see a great integration between the case and the bracelet. The case flows over into the bracelet in an effortless way, where we find the butterfly clasp on the underside. It is a twin button release system with the Direnzo engraving on top, and if we then open the clasp we can see some very nice perlage finishing. The bracelet has a screw down system for sizing and also a quick release system, which makes swapping bracelets a breeze on the integrated bracelet styled watch. There are some great rubber and leather strap options in the making, so keep an eye out for these on the website from Direnzo. If we then take a look at the back of the watch, we can see some improvements in terms of finishing, which is always great to see. The screw-in caseback of the watch has now some polished parts in combination with the bead blasted parts. It gives it just a little more visual pop. And underneath the sapphire glass of the caseback we can see the hand-wound Sellita SW260-1 elaborate grade movement with the Incablock shock protection system. It is important to point out that this is a prototype watch and the movement will be decorated with the logo and I believe some beautiful Geneva stripings as well. Now, automatic movements are very practical, but as a purist I'm a big fan myself of hand-wound movements. There is just something very romantic about winding your watch every morning, and with this ritual you build an even bigger connection with your watch, which is great. If we then take a look at the lume of the DRZ06 Wandering Star, it is really out of this world. The white BGW9 Superluminova with its blue hue of color will last through the night and is very bright and reactive. It is quite unique because of the loomed ring with the dashes and the loomed universe where the Wandering Star is gliding through space and time. Now there is a lot to see here, so let's kill the lights and take a look. Now that we have covered all the details of the watch, let's summarize and have a quick look at the specifications of the watch. There is a lot on offer here. We have a Swiss-made watch with a great mechanical movement and finishing that is on a very high level. It also has a scratch resistance coating which bumps up the hardness of the watch to a 800 Vickers. And what we have here is another greatest hit with great colors to choose from. And if you buy a Direnzo watch, you are not only a customer, but you're also part of a very passionate community of Direnzistas, real watch enthusiasts that love to have a conversation with each other about Direnzo watches, other watch stuff and the latest news of course. That's also what we do on WatchCrunch, a great platform where you can have a great and fun watch discussion with each other with fellow watch enthusiasts. So check out the app in the link down below. But what do you guys think of the brand Direnzo? Does Direnzo watches arouse the same enthusiasm in you as they do for me? And what Direnzo model reference and color stands out for you guys? Also, what kind of a watch model complication do you like to see in the future? For me, maybe a GMT complication would be a great new addition to the collection of Direnzo watches. I'm already looking forward to see what Sergio will come up with next. But guys, please let me know in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. And yeah, we have a lot of cool reviews in the works and this is the way to get a notification when a new video goes online. Once again, my name is Dick from the Dutch Watch channel and I will see you all on the next one. Bedankt voor het kijken.